Hi guys, welcome to another video, and you guys will know how much I enjoy being a security dog handler, coming to work, whether it's day shifts, night shifts, whatever it is. You know how much I enjoy training or doing stuff on site with a dog. But I think that there are 5 things that I dislike and hate as a security dog handler, and I thought I'd just make a video about them. And these are the 5 things that I hate / dislike about being a security dog handler. And the first one is having your second name or first initial on your SAA license. I don't see how it benefits having your first initial and your second name on the SAA license when your picture's on there. I think that we should be held to possibly the same as the police, that if you are asked for your name by a member of the public, then you're required to give it. But I don't think it should be printed on an SAA license. And the reason that I don't think that is because of the people that you possibly could be dealing with, or the people that possibly you could come in contact with might have criminal intentions, and having your name readily available for them to be able to see, especially if you've got someone with a name like mine. I mean, obviously I don't try and hide who I am because my channel's got my name on it, etc, etc. But I think if someone wanted to, they could just get into a general conversation with me. But by looking at my license, they'll be able to see my name, and then they will be able to possibly find me on social media or whatever it is, and they will be able to look into who my family are, etc, etc, and they could get a lot of information by simply my name being on the SAA license, and maybe I'll be unaware of that happening. So I think having your name, even if it is just your second initials, or your second name on the SAA license, I actually think it brings problems, or it brings threat to your outside life and your family more than it helps by having your name on your SAA license. So that would be one of the things I would change. The second one is the cohesion within the security dog handling community. This might go into security, I'm not 100% sure, because obviously I've only really been a dog handler. I've never been part of a mobile team or a static team, or worked on the doors at Waitrose or Tesco's or wherever it is. Now, what I would say is that whenever I've seen teams of doormen or door supervisors that are working on nightclubs and things like that, they look like a team, and they look like they've got each other's backs, and it doesn't matter if they go, it might be different, but they might be able to go to another door and fit quite well into a sort of team. But what I've sort of seen from the 3.5 years, maybe 4 years that I've been on sort of social media, seeing stuff and speaking to people, is that security dog handlers, because it is a very individual role, most of the time you are working on your own, is that there's never been a lot of cohesion. Is that you see a lot of people that will throw someone under the bus very quickly. There might be a snippet of a video and they would throw a security dog handler under the bus before getting the whole story. I've been to training sessions where dog handlers have spoken to me about certain other people and talk that they don't throw them under the bus, but they're very disrespectful with the way that they talk about them. And once it happened at training about someone that I knew, and I was like, I know that person's not like that. So I know it's very individual, and obviously people's relationships and the way in which some people have met other people maybe isn't the same. But I always think with security dog handling that it's very cliquey, and if you're part of this training session, then they're all your mates, and if you go to this training session, then they're all your mates. And I've seen a lot of backstabbing, a lot of people throwing people under the bus when it comes to sort of social media and that, but lots of time being at training sessions and being disrespectful to other handlers when I feel like it's unnecessary. So yeah, I think that the cohesion within security dog handlers could be better, is that we could work more together rather than talking behind each other's backs or throwing people under the bus without understanding the whole situation. So I think, yeah, that's one of the things that I dislike about the security dog handling industry. And the next one is the lack of backing by the law. And that's one of the things that I found very surprising when I got into the industry, is that the lack of backing you have from the law. So in terms of security, being a security dog handler, you have gone through extra training. You have gone through hours and hours of sort of paperwork or scenarios. That's the word I was trying to think of. Scenarios. You've gone through hours and hours of that, and you've done your continuation training and different things like that. But the moment you go to work, you're no different to someone. You're not really governed any different by the person that's walking their dog down the road at home. Like, you don't have really any extra powers. You possibly have the situation more on your side, but when it comes to the dog's not protected the same way that the police dogs are. So as a working dog, your dog's not protected in the ways that if someone was to attack your dog, it's not attacking another human being, it's attacking an object. And yes, you could go down the route of animal cruelty or different things like that, but the police dogs are treated as constables. So if you attack a police dog, it's the same as if you attack a policeman. But when it comes to our dogs, they're just sort of seen as objects. And if your dog does have to be used in order to protect you, you're going to have to prove so much that the dog was required, is that you almost feel like the person that was attacking you has the upper hand, and it won't be an innocent till proven guilty. It will be kind of a guilty until you prove your innocence. So I think that that's one of the things that I don't like, or I kind of hate in the industry, is that if you ever have to use your dog, you're going to be guilty until you can prove your innocence, and you're going to have to prove that the dog was necessary for that situation. So I think that is one of the issues with security dog handling as well. And the fourth one is the lack of trainers in certain areas. I've had loads of people talk to me, ask me about where the best trainer is in their local area. I know that people that have in certain areas have reached out to the trainers on the NASDU list and not had any responses. There's lots of people I know, like sort of Wales, it's very hard to come across a dog trainer in Wales, and I think that partially has to do with NASDU. NASDU need to make sure that they have got trainers in all parts of the country, and make sure that if they have got trainers in that part of the country, that they are taking on new students all the time and different things like that. But obviously only if the new students are available to come to them. But I think that the lack of trainers in certain areas, and like I say, I've had loads of people probably on a weekly basis, especially a few years ago when I sort of first started this, now people know where to look for trainers. I don't get it as much, but I do still get it quite a lot, where someone says, look, I live in X location, I've reached out to the people on the list, do you know if there's any other trainers around my area? And then you kind of look on the list and there's no other trainer within 40-50 miles, and if the trainers in the local area aren't getting back to them, then all of a sudden they're sort of hung out to dry with nowhere to go. But I think that there are definitely big chunks of the country where there are no NASDU trainers, and I think that needs to change, because you could be losing out on lots of good handlers in them areas just through the lack of availability of training. So I think, yeah, that's something that disappoints me as well, is the lack of trainers, or the lack of the amount of trainers in certain counties or certain parts of the country. And the last one, number 5, is the NASDU setup. Now, hopefully, if anyone from NASDU watches this video, they'll take this as constructive criticism. Is the NASDU setup, to me, as a governing body and as seen as as probably the most recognised security dog handling organisation, the setup of it is ridiculous. The website is something that from the 90s. The website's not good. You have no idea really who works for them. There's no real information. The amount of people that have come to me and they have no idea how to find out information, even as NASDU, like, obviously hopefully you guys have been watching my videos for years. lots of people have found out more information on my videos about how to become a security dog handler than the leading organisation of security dog handling. And there's got to be something wrong there. If a security dog handler has taken it upon themselves to give out that information so that people even know how to become a security dog handler, there's got to be something wrong. And I've been doing this for, like I say, nearly 4 years now, and not really once have they ever reached out to me and said, look, we've seen what you've been doing, we want to invite you to come down so that you can understand how NASDU works. I think the NASDU setup is ridiculous, and as someone that is seen as the leading governing body, I feel that they should be doing more, and I don't know how they do that. I'm going to hold my hands up. I don't even understand how they're working now, so I don't understand how they improve if I don't understand how they work now. But surely there should, if you've got a governing body like that, surely they should have a base where they can do NASDU courses, where they can do CT training, and they should have maybe some bases around the country in certain areas where they have a residential trainer where they can do NASDU courses. Like they could have one, maybe not in the middle of London because that would be ridiculous, but somewhere in and around the home counties, even if it's, say, Sussex, Surrey, wherever it is, have a base there. They could have one in Manchester, Birmingham, Nottingham, go down sort of Bournemouth, Southampton. Like, you understand what I mean? Like, they could have bases around the UK where people could go and get a NASDU course and people could go and do CT at these bases and have residential trainers there. Like, that's how I imagined NASDU would be, is that, look, they'd say, look, I want to become a security dog handler. Here's my local NASDU base. I can go there. I can get information on how to become a security dog handler. I can meet some trainers. I'll be able to have a look at maybe some dogs doing training, etc. And it's just never been that way. And like I say, I don't know how NASDU improved because I don't understand how they run now. Their website is so old and so complicated for people to get around that even now, when people ask me about sort of NASDU trainers, etc., is that I have to go into the NASDU website, get to where the trainers are, and then send them the link. Because if I say to them, look, if you go to this website, in here you'll see approved trainers, they come back to me in sort of 5 minutes time, 10 minutes time, and they say, I can't find where that is. So the NASDU setup for me, I think, is a bit of a shambles. It should be so much better for someone that is seen as the head of, or the biggest organisation in an industry, especially when it comes to security. Like the SIA, like you wouldn't expect the SIA to be as badly run as probably what NASDU is, because it is a governing body and it governs sort of security. But NASDU, like I say, you have no idea who's doing what. They have no real communication. They don't really advertise out. Like you have no communication with what's really going on. So I think that NASDU could do a better job with their setup, and that's one of the things that I dislike and disappoints me, is that it has taken me to do videos for people to have any idea how to even get started or to even understand who NASDU are. Like, there's lots of people that want to become security dog handlers. They don't understand who NASDU, NIP2 and BIPTA are. Like, they don't even know they exist, and I think that that's a bit of a shambles. But yeah, that's just my personal opinion. So they are the 5 things that I hate / dislike about the security dog handling industry. A few of them may be a bit hard hitting, maybe a few of them are a bit whiny, but I think they're valid. In my opinion, they are valid. So I'd like to know in the comments section down below what your maybe 1 or 2 things that you dislike about the security dog handling industry or security industry. Like I say, the SIA, having your name on your SIA badge is more security than it is dog handling, but definitely sort of the law that backs us up, or sort of NASDU, the NASDU setup is more of a dog handling one. But I'll be interested to see if anyone's got any comments down in the comment section below. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe down below for loads more videos. And as for now, I'll see you again next week. Just for watching. See you later.